Welcome back to the Nintendo Hub with me, your host Sparky. Now today, this video is all about sharing my love for a game called Graveyard Keeper, which you may or may not have heard of. I think it's currently on Steam and on the Switch. It's described as a medieval management sim, and you're basically thrown into a role of a graveyard keeper. Now I picked this up about 2 weeks ago actually. I downloaded this in Dubai Airport of all places. Picked it up on the eShop. It's on a sale for I think about £8. The usual price is on the eShop, looking at it now, at £17.99 in the UK, of course. If Stardew Valley hadn't been made, I don't think this game would have been made. It has a lot of elements of Stardew Valley, but it's just a really intriguing game. It's got a dark sense of humour. The pixel art graphics are lovely. And I think in this short video, I'd just like you to maybe consider trying this game or playing this game, because this might be right up your street. You may have never heard of it before. So I'm going to just show you where I am in the game at the moment. It took me a while to get into the mechanics of the game. It's not particularly well. It doesn't really hold your hand very well, this game. You have to work things out for yourself, and there's a bit of trial and error. But once you get into the system, and once you get into the day-to-day activities that you need to complete to move the game on, move the story on, it's a really nice little loop you can get quite addicted to. So basically, this is our main character. It's not a real spoiler that you, at the start of the game, you basically get run over crossing a road, and you wake up here in this crazy little medieval town where you're given the role of a graveyard keeper. Now this is my house. Let me just throw you straight through the front door. There's my bed. You'll see on the top left of the screen there a fancy looking clock with the day. You can see the day-night cycle there with the sun on the left going down, and obviously the sun disappears and it's nighttime and it's daytime. But unlike Stardew Valley here, at nighttime it doesn't send you back to your house. You can stay up as long as you want. As long as you have stamina to do what you need, you can stay up all night. When you run out of stamina, basically you jump into bed and he goes to sleep. And the great thing is this saves your progress as well. His energy bar is full. That's the top blue bar on the right hand side, so he doesn't need to sleep anymore. Dotted around the house and in various parts of the game, you have your storage chests, which hold, I think, like 20 items, which you can see here. The inventory there is what you're holding, of course, and the right hand side is what you're putting in your chests. And the more things you pick up, the more chests that you need. When we're in the house, I'll just show you that you have your options to cook different foods, and it shows you the different ingredients you need to create these different foods, and it shows you what fuel also you need to keep the fire going as well. And there's the actual stove itself, and we made a bit of progress with this game, and I've got a few different options here of things I can cook, and it tells you the ingredients here of what you need to cook these things, like the omelette here. We need chicken eggs, we need a jug of milk. With the beef slices here, the beet slices, we need some beetroot for those as well. And it also tells you on the right hand side there how long it takes to cook. For example, the beet slices take 35 minutes, and you need 10 elements of fuel. And the fuel itself comes from sticks, comes from coal and firewood. I won't show you just yet where that trapdoor leads. This video isn't going to give away any spoilers, because I've played this game for quite a few hours. I've made a bit of progress, but it's somewhere you'll probably get to quite quickly as well. This garden here, this is my garden here, and it didn't look like this originally. I've actually equipped it fairly well with these chests here. I've built some chests, and I've got different chests for different things. This chest here I've just opened shows you all my wood products. This chest here is sort of miscellaneous stuff. This chest here is body parts, which sounds quite grim, but I'll tell you about that shortly. And in this chest here I have iron, steel, nails, more resources. Now, there's different crafting stations. There's a few here that all do different things. Here's a carpenter's workbench, and it gives you an idea here of what I can craft on this workbench. This is another crafting station. It's the wooden anvil, where I can create new tools, nails and simple iron parts. For more basic crafting stations here, this is where I can chop all my wood to produce different things from my wood. Another crafting station where I can do more wooden stuff. So there's a lot to craft. There's another crafting station I've developed here, which is nails, iron parts, basically everything that involves using metals. I have another one over here, which is a stone cutter, where I can cut blocks of stone from iron ore. So the stone repair kits, there's gravestones. As I am a graveyard keeper, I literally have a graveyard to manage. So let's wander over and have a look at my graveyard. It's nighttime now. I think the days last for about 9 minutes each. They pass fairly quickly. And what's wonderful in this game is sometimes first thing in the morning, the color palette changes for when the sun's coming up, and sometimes it's like there's a heavy fog, there's a heavy mist on the landscape, and it really looks lovely. Let me show you quickly the graveyard. Now, when you first start this game, I think you only have one grave, and you're gradually supplied a number of bodies, a number of corpses that you have to bury. And it's quite hard to describe, but you have to, when you first bury a body, each grave plot has a minus figure, and you can upgrade that plot by putting decorations on there, either stone crosses or a small stone wooden wall around each grave, or there could be wooden ones here like on the right hand side. And also the quality of the corpse varies as well, and they can decompose quite quickly. And what happens is this friendly donkey who you first meet earlier on in the game delivers the body, but he'll only deliver the body if you can provide him some carrots, which you put in this box. If there's no carrots in the box, he won't bother bringing it along. But when he does bring a body along, you hear little ding ding sounds, and the body is then left for you in the morgue. And here's my morgue here. So the body basically comes through a chute here. You have to bring the body over to your table. Now there's a couple of items there you can see. I didn't have the inventory space to pick them up, so they're left on the floor, so I can pick them up now. Okay, you can see now it didn't pick them up because my inventory here is full. So in order to pick those up, I'll need to move some of these, or use them, or destroy them. But basically, once you get a body, you can put them on the slab here. You can do an autopsy, and what I've done so far to get some food is I've taken the meat from the body, and then I've cooked the meat to make basically burgers or steaks, and I've used that without any negative effects, just to give me some more energy through the day. This little skull here is your friend. He gives you some advice early on. Hasn't given me too much for a while, but he told me to leave, which is very nice. But he gives you some advice starting off the game in terms of what you need to do. And gradually, this whole area here can be unlocked. There was blockages on these passages, and I've unlocked them by getting various materials and tools to do that, and it opens up a whole network underground. So there's no bodies here just yet, but probably in this playthrough, if I can put through some carrots in the box there for the donkey, he hopefully will come along and drop one off. But what I need to do now is, you can see my inventory is full. I need to free up some space. So going to my crates here, the body part crate, I've no body parts to put in there. If I go to hopefully the stone crate, just for the moment, I'm going to throw across the piece of stone, all 6 pieces, and my stone grey fence as well, just to free up a little bit of space, and the stone repair kit. It can all go across there as well. And then this box up here, I have my food and plants and those type of things. So you can see them on the right hand side. At the moment I have 5 carrots and a bit of crop waste. I've got wheat, all sorts of things, flowers, water. But I'm going to put some peat across there, all of it there. I'm going to put some cabbage across there as well. 7 pieces of cabbage. My carrot seeds. Carrot seeds are quite important because I need carrot seeds. I need to grow carrot seeds as cabbage seeds as well. I need to I'll show you now, to show you why I'm doing this. I'm going to get some cabbage seed and the carrot seed, actually. 4 of those. I'm going to take 4 of those, because you can grow the vegetables and sell them in the town, or you can use them to cook your own meals. But carrots are essential because you need to grow the carrots to give to your donkey. Now here are some plants that I grew before, but I didn't have a chance to pick them up because my inventory's full. And when your inventory's full, you'll just see them left on the ground. So I'm going to pick up the beetroot here and the beet seeds. Now, I've expanded this garden, and you can see this whole area can be eventually filled, I believe, with room for planting crops. And the way I did that was going to the build stations, basically. So I can do an empty garden bed here. It doesn't cost me anything to do this. And then I can choose an area I want to create into a garden bed. So it's got some, you know, what's the word? When you put in compost into the ground to add nutrients to grow plants. So I've put an area there, for example. You go along there and you press Y, which is the build button in this game. And as you work away, you can see didn't take up much energy, but that actually absorbed some of my blue energy bar. And in this, I can plant some seeds. So I'm going to plant this in units of 4. The seeds. I'm going to plant some cabbage seeds there. And on here, I'm going to plant some carrot seeds. They don't take too long to grow. You don't need to water them. There's actually quite a lot of rain. The rain graphics again in this game are brilliant. So I just have to wait for those to grow. And at the moment, I picked up some carrots. I've got 7 carrots. But I need 10 carrots to put in my donkey's box. And without those 10 carrots, the donkey's not going to do anything. And he's also a talking donkey as well, which is fun. Check my food box. Actually, I can get 10 carrots. I'll show you this now. So I put my 7 carrots across there. Put all 7 in. And then I'll take out 10. Okay, so I'm just going to put those in the box of the donkey in a second. A very useful thing to pick up early on if you can is the teleport pad. I can click on the teleport pad and it'll take me basically to any location in the game on the map. And I'll show you the map in a second. It's quite an interesting map. Teleport thing is really useful to have, and I didn't quite appreciate how that worked earlier on. So it's well worth picking it up if you get the chance. And again, if I look at this garden here, this was very, very different starting off. There was only maybe the wood pile here and the table, and I had to produce all these other working stations. Because if you do want certain items in the game, if you can't craft them yourself, you have to go and buy them, and that's expensive. So ultimately, you want to go and get the minerals yourself and craft your own things, which you can then sell as well. But you also need a lot of these things to build stuff for yourself too. If you have a look here at the blueprint station, it can show you a list of items. A lot of these I've crafted already, but what's needed to make them. It's quite a big selection. And a bit like Stardew, and like other sort of sim games, you just chop down trees like for resources for wood. And here I just pick up a log, and I can put it in my log pile here. I've created an extra log pile so I have lots of wood. And here you can put stones, some big stones there from the quarry as well. You need stones to build stuff for the graves. There's only space on this one. Now that's full. So at the moment I'm pretty good for wood. And up here is another workstation, by the way. This is the circular saw. So I need to create planks and beams as well. So for example here, it knows I've got 18 on the right hand side there. It says I've got 18 logs. So from those 18 I can build 3 wooden planks. So let's craft 3 wooden planks by pressing Y. I've got 3 more wooden planks. And you can see it's used up some of my energy, not too much energy. Now before the sun goes down, I just want to quickly take a stroll into town and show you some more of the map basically. And before I do that, if I go into the main menu button here, we can scroll across to the map. This is the detail as the map gets. You see the clouds above the map. They're areas I haven't uncovered because I haven't had access to yet. It doesn't actually show you where you are on the map at the current time, but that's not too difficult to work out. But in terms of scale, this is it so far. And I'm over here where it says Sweet Home. We've seen the morgue and we've seen the graveyard there with a church in the grounds, which I haven't gotten into yet. The church is another very interesting area. But I've unlocked a lot of areas like the Witch's Land and the Swamp by doing various things. But it's a nice sized map and it doesn't take you too long to get from place A to B. So the sun is going down, as you can tell from the clock on the left hand side. But let's see, can I pop into town and see if anyone's up this time of night. There's all sorts of very, very interesting things that go on in this game. There's witch burnings, as I said, there's talking donkeys. It's got like a black sense of humour to the whole game, which I quite like. The writing's very good. And I think visually it looks lovely. I also enjoy the music and the sound effects as well. So just passing through this big crop field here, which is 2 farms in there which I can trade with. Let's see, can I get into town? Oh, it's getting quite dark now. Music changes once you go from one location to another. The night soldiers around, guard in the town, so most people might have gone to bed. But let's pop into the Dead Horse pub. There's always people around. And you can see, I hope you agree, the graphics look beautiful. You can interact with most characters. Here's the barman, who you can trade all sorts of things with. With him, I can, yeah, every time you bury your body, there's lots to get through. Every time you bury a body, you get a certificate for each one. And I've got 3 here, so I can sell these for a price of 4 silver and 50 bronze coins. So I'm going to sell them for the moment, and you can see at the bottom there I've got 5 and 87 there. And on the right hand side here's a range of foods and things that you can buy. Pies, sausages, pastries, onion rings, but pumpkin soup. And it's very handy to have these when you're around gathering resources and exploring, so you don't run out of energy. So if you do run out of energy, you have to go home again, and you have to sleep to refill your energy bar. You can't die in this game, which is good, so there's nothing to be too worried about, and there's no bad hard restarts. But you just need to wander home and get some sleep if you're tired. Unless you have, of course, a nice selection of food here, like a piece of baked salmon or a croissant, which all have different powers with them as well in terms of buffs and things. I think the more you buy off the traders, the more they can offer you in different tiers later on. The other interesting thing about this game is the time clock, because if you look on the top left hand side, you can see the day-night cycle, but also around that is different icons, and each icons represent different character activities at different days. I guess a bit like Animal Crossing, where certain characters only appear at certain times. Again, in this game, only certain characters appear at certain times, and that's the only time you can complete their side quest for them. The 2 rooms, they look pretty nice, but I haven't had a chance to go into those just yet. Like this chap here, he wants ink and paper. And some of them give you clues, like here, you may have some of it in your church, or you can make it. So it's a clue saying where I can find it. I've actually built a paper crafting station. I've got the blueprint to build a paper crafting station, but I haven't actually printed any yet because there's a few more ingredients I still need to get. Yeah, so I've been to see the astrologer at the lighthouse. And again, here's a good example where he tells you he only appears every, as you can see, the pink moon there and the blue icon. I'm going to leave here, and you'll see on my clock there on the top left, you can see there at the very top there above the moon at the moment, that's the icon for the astrologer, and he'll only appear when that comes around to the bottom. So that mechanic is quite interesting. So I'm leaving the Dead Horse pub. You can see already the lighting's changed now. You got the glimmer there of the little street lamps. Most of these buildings are people you can trade with if you need various minerals, but at this stage I've been able to produce a lot of them myself. Like here's the blacksmith, where you can buy nails and steel and iron and other sorts, but he's in bed now and he won't appear till the sun comes up. I say it doesn't take long to get from A to B, and if I really want to get somewhere quickly, I can go to my character. I can choose the teleport stone, and I'll say sweet home. So I'm going to teleport home for a second. I'm going to get a tiny bit of sleep. I'm going to wake up now, just show you a bit more of the world. As well as tending to the graveyard for the, I think it's a bishop. You also have to, here's that nice light now between, must be about maybe 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. You have to also deliver church services, and you can upgrade your church, and you can upgrade the benches, and you can get, I believe, bigger congregations, and you can actually get bigger churches. I mean, it's very interesting really in terms of how far this, here's the box of the donkey. I did put the carrots in the box from earlier on, so I'm 10 carrots in there. So hopefully the donkey, maybe in this little playthrough, might actually deliver a dead body for us. Yeah, so my graveyard's coming on quite nicely. So you pop inside the church. And on certain days, you can deliver sermons, and you can actually upgrade your prayers to get better prayers. So the congregation will give you more money in the money box, and it's very clever. So here's the church. I've put some extra benches in there, and I've put in these chandeliers on the left and right as well. And again, you see these blueprints around for what you can do to improve the church. Like I put some benches in, and I've put the candles in. There's not much more I can do at the moment, but I can improve the prayers I say as well. I've got like the basic one at the moment, but people do seem to be enjoying that. And I can go downstairs into the basement of the church, where again you'll see more workstations, where I can build various things. At times it feels a bit overwhelming. I mean, I can do study tables, alchemy workbenches, the mills, the church workbench, the racks, the desks. So you can imagine at some stage in this game having so much you can build. But I'm not getting stressed by that. I'm just doing one thing at a time. And the other thing is, there's no pressure on this game. You can just work in your own time. You can just gather resources. You can gather wood. You can gather stone. There's no need to do anything by a particular time. And when you have the tasks for people, you can produce those at any time you like. So I don't feel playing this game under pressure at any stage to do anything in particular. I can just enjoy it for what it is and do my own thing. This whole little network here, because I've unlocked some passages, I believe actually leads to, you can see it down there, to the morgue. I can wander over to the morgue. This is all blocked up when I first played it. I'm not going to pick up those parts yet. I have space in my inventory. There's a fishing rod there. You can do fishing as well in this game. I've tried fishing, haven't caught anything yet. It doesn't actually tell you how to fish, so I need to work that out. And I guess it wouldn't hurt for me to look up a few things so I'll get really stuck in this game. So let's just wander back to the town now as the day. Actually, let's use my teleporter just to save time here. Actually, I won't use the teleporter. I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to show you Witch's Hill, which is quite interesting. Because early on in the game, you meet an Inquisitor. He's a bit like the Emperor of Star Wars. And there's a witch burning session, I guess, because he seems to do it quite often. And he asks you if you want to help him doing it. There's certain days he'll come out. I don't think it's the day. I think the game's got a really visually a lovely palette. I really like the animation. This is a witch burning place, so at certain times he'll come along and there'll be a burning here. You see the little skull there, and he'll ask you if you want to help. He'll ask you to produce flyers for it. And at the moment I've just said no to all these questions. I'm not interested in helping him out, so I'd be interested to see where that choice takes me later on, or if I had chosen to help him, what that would have done as well. Maybe I'll just chop down this. And I could pick these logs up before, but I have to carry them all the way back to my house. Oh, here's the donkey. Let's follow the donkey. Here he is. He's gorgeous, isn't he? The animal graphics are great. I'm a big fan of pixel art graphics, and I think these are done to a very high standard. I'm just going to encourage you, if you're even thinking about this game, to pick up this game, because I've had hours of fun with it already. I've definitely had my money's worth. If I stop playing it tomorrow, I've had my money's worth. But I've no intention of stopping. I want to keep on playing this game and see where it takes me. It would be nice if there were more tutorials at the start, just to help you with the story, because some things aren't the easiest things to work out. So if I go into this little hatch here, so he slides the body down this hatch, and it will appear. Let me just bury a body for you so you can see this. It appears here. There's another mechanic which I need to fully understand. Where see, I've picked up the blood, the flesh, and the brain there from my last autopsy that was left on the floor because I had spaces in my inventory. You have these skulls here under the body, 2 red skulls and 3 white skulls, and the number of red skulls will give you like a minus a plus number on the body when you bury it. So I found out if you take out, for example, at the moment, if I take out some flesh, which I can then cook later on for a nice bit of steak, Got back in there. I'll still have two skulls there. So let's take out some blood, see what happens. Now we'll have a look. I've only got one red skull. And you can see here that you can extract the bone and the brains and the fat and the heart, and I'm sure there's all sorts of things you can do with these things, which I don't quite understand just yet. But I'm going to take the body. I'm just going to bury it here to show you how this works. And before I go as well, I want to show you the skill tree in this game, because there's a huge skill tree to unlock, which lets you build and craft different things. And I've done quite a bit, but there's way more to go. So I'm going to pop the body down here. I'm going to go to the work table and build a grave site. Where shall I build a grave site? My grave's getting quite full, actually. Can I fit one here? Okay, I can fit one here. Okay, so what I need to do is wander down. First of all, I need to dig the space. There we go. So it's -2 at the moment. So I need to get the body. Put it into the ground. Shovel the dirt back on top. So it's -1. There's an overall quality of the grave, you'll see. If you look at the top right screen here, it says, "Oh, graveyard quality 53. This started off about 25. But the more I enhance it with flowers and flower beds and tombstones and everything else, that the number goes up. And at the moment it's 53, which I imagine is quite good. So I've got a -1 here. And I could put a gravestone on here if I had one. But do you remember I put my other gravestones in storage? So I need to come back here now and upgrade this particular grave. But I have the resources already, so I just come back and do this. Actually, while I'm here, I might as well go and do this now. So there's nothing to stop you wandering around and producing all your challenges at night time. You just need to be aware of your energy levels. Now, I think I put those in, or was it this chest? So I built all these chests. These weren't here before. Okay, so I've got that to put in. And do I have any stone as well to make a headstone? No, it's going to be here for the headstone, sorry. Yes, I'm gonna, a gravestone here. Perfect. So let's build this as well. So now I have a gravestone and the little wall to put around the grave. So I'll wander back. There's some trees I've cut down before, which I haven't put on my storage rack. Maybe it's full at the time. I've had to unlock various areas of my garden as well to build in, and you have to place the objects of the workstations as well. I think my garden's quite progressed in this game, but I've no idea how much bigger it needs to get to incorporate everything. I quickly wander back. I'm guessing now it's maybe 4 o'clock in the morning or something. So wander back here. It's -1. So watch this. So if I choose gravestone, place this here. It works away. It's gone to 1. And now I'm going to put in the grave fence, which I've picked up as well. Work on this too. Okay, so the grave is now 3, which is pretty good. I think it's because it's a good body. If it's a really bad body, you start at a lower negative level. So it's harder to get in the plus. And you can also dispose of bodies by, I think, throwing them in the river. And you can burn them as well. You have to build a bonfire and burn them, which I've done before. Actually, it's down here. I burnt them last time. And there's 2 things I need to pick up there. Oh, I picked them up there. I didn't mean to because they've taken up a lot of my space, my inventory, so I have to put them somewhere else. You can build a little bonfire there, but you need to have the 8 wooden billets there to do that. So I've done a couple of those. And here I could build a trunk as well to put things in. So maybe here, if you built a trunk here, you might put loads of wood in there as well. So you can, every time you wanted to bury a corpse, you can. Let's quickly show you the town now when the sun's up. So the purpose of this video is just to show you this game. You haven't seen it before. I've had a great time playing it. I think it's $17.99 on the eShop. I'm just really intrigued by it. I mean, I didn't know anything about this going in. I'd seen the trailer, but didn't know much about what you needed to do. Let me just show you some of the characters that you meet in this game. Running through the cornfield. Yeah, so when the sun comes up, this fella should be out here now, and I should be able to deal with him. I should be able to buy some. Here he is. Look at that for timing. So trade. So here I can buy my seeds and things. So you need to buy seeds. So I don't want to buy carrots. I just want to buy the seeds. So I've got a bit of money here. So let's buy 11 seeds. Let's buy more because you need your carrots. I can always. It's cheaper to buy the seeds and the carrots, and I can always grow the carrots and come back and sell them. So let's buy 18 carrot seeds. Okay. Anything else I want to grow here? Or buy here pumpkin seeds. I haven't got any pumpkin seeds actually, so let's get some pumpkin seeds as well. Okay, and I could sell him my beet actually. I'm going to sell him my beet as well. I can put that across, put all that in there. So the top part of the box there is my beetroot, like you can see, and I'm trading that in for what I'm buying off him just to reduce the price. And what else can I get when I'm here? Pumpkin seeds. I'm going to just grow the seeds. I've got a big garden. Onions. So obviously with these extra things now I can start lentil seeds. I haven't actually bought any lentil seeds before. Buy 4 of those and exchange them. A finished exchange. Cannot accept this offer because I don't have enough money. So if I take out the lentil seeds, okay, excellent. I bought all my stuff. So I can grow crops and sell them back to him as well. He's one of the many characters that you can trade with in the game. Anyway, back to my big pitch. I definitely think it's worth, if you're anyway interested in picking this game up, give it a go. If you like Stardew, if you like, I'm not going to say Animal Crossing, but these little sim games, they're quite addictive, aren't they? There are a few NPCs wandering around the town. I'll show you my blacksmith. He'll be out here, see what we can buy off him. There's a witch in this game out in the witch's swamp you have to do things for. Here he is working away, look. So off this gentleman here I can trade and buy a few things. You need to get these whetstones to sharpen some of your tools. So your tools do break in this game, but it's easy to craft them in your own garden once you have what you need. And there's lots of things down in tiers 2 and 3 which I haven't yet explored myself. Now let me just quickly show you here the upgrade tree. It's called technologies, and there's quite a lot here. So these are like this smithing technologies where you can create your own stuff. And the ones that are in brown, the green tick, are the ones that I've already unlocked. And it shows you here I can do the steel tools here because I have enough points. And I'm not going to get into the point system, but you get various points by planting things, by chopping down some trees, by doing spiritual stuff. And these are the red numbers you can see here with the iron casting, the 200 red, 15 green, and 20 blue. You get these different rewards for doing different things. But here I have enough now to create steel tools, which I'm going to unlock now. Because at the moment I have axe 1, shovel 1, and pickaxe 1, but 2 are basically better quality tools which will last longer and be more efficient. And there's all sorts of jewels, there's steel weapons up here I can do as well, there's casting. Here's the building tree. You can see on top of switch to the building tree, how much you need to do. There's the cookery tree. There's the autonomy and alchemy tree for embalming the bodies, all sorts of things. There's the theology tree for buying prayers and doing stuff, religious elements of the game. Book writing skills as well. I've actually unlocked a few of these, which is quite good. And the farming and nature ones. There's just lots to do. Here's some of the NPCs that you see. It's quite good this because sometimes you forget what you need to do for certain people. So I can look through my NPC guide here and it tells you what they want from you. And it also tells you, which is great, for example, the astrologer here, you've got to collect the old keeper's diary from the church cellar. But you can see the graphic above his head, that's the icon in terms of when he'll appear at his location, only when the icon appears, when the clock gets around to his icon. And they all have different ones. There's the Inquisitor, the guy who's a bit like the Emperor, who does the witch burning. It tells you what he'd like you to do for him, but it also tells you what time in the cycle that you need to go and visit him to be able to see him, to speak to him, to complete the task or whatever. And there's quite a few little interesting characters I've picked up throughout the game. There's a donkey, there's a ghost called Yorick who appears to you a few times. I mean, these aren't spoilers because you'll meet these people pretty early on in the game. It's a good way this way, the NPC list, of just checking where you need to go and at what time. There's a lumberjack to buy some wood from. There's a guy you can buy your stones from if you can't do them yourself. There's the main pub there, which you've just seen the dead horse, which you can buy lots of food from. There's a lady up here that sells a lovely little bunch of eggs. There's a chickens working away in the field. There's quite an interesting mixed characters, and there's lots of this game I haven't unlocked. There's a big fort north of the map, which I haven't been able to access yet. There's this chap here who wants me to get some... He's just... What does he need? He can sell me seed oils, helm rope, hemp. There's all sorts of things I probably need at some later stage. Actually, since I started playing this game on the Switch, I haven't played anything else. Because it's one of those games where you think, I don't want to forget about what I'm doing or forget what I need to do, so you keep on playing it. But I've had a lot of fun playing it. And over here, I'll just show you finally is the lighthouse. And this is where I met the astronomer earlier on. And this is where the astronomer appears here at a certain time of the cycle. And a gentleman up here can sell you fish, and I bought fishing rods off him. And he's asked me to get some moths, which I haven't worked out how to get yet. But, you know, you can sell him fish when you catch them. And you can buy fish here and fishing rods, tier 2 goods and tier 3 goods. The bell you heard there is my little friendly donkey there now, just to deliver the body. So if I quickly go onto my character here and go onto the teleport stone and I go sweet home. Just come out of my house. So saving the game is easy. Go into your house, go to bed, sleep, and as soon as you wake up, and you can choose when to wake up, the game is saved. You see, the donkey's left a body. He's taken his carrot, so he won't deliver another body now till the carrots have gone. And there's the body there. So I'm going to put the body up on the table and leave it there for the moment. So that's all I'm going to show you today of this amazing game. I might do a little sort of playthrough guide because I'm enjoying it so much. Honestly, it's I discover something new every time I play it. It's highly recommended. This is the rain coming in, obviously. Sorry, I see this all the time. But again, graphics are lovely, aren't they? You get storms and all sorts of things going on, lightning and all sorts going on. It's a great game. It's highly recommended. There's hundreds of great games on the Switch. This is one I think, really, if you've got any interest in, give it a look. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think there's DLC for it as well. There's been some updates to it as it's gone along. You can see the light changing here as I'm speaking. Look, it looks great, doesn't it? But if you've played this game on the Switch, let me know what you think. Love and subscribe and like if you like this video. If you want me to play through more and stream my playthroughs, let me know, because it's something I've been thinking about doing because I'm enjoying this game so much. I've got other playthroughs like Let's Build a Zoo on this channel. I think I did about 8 of those. I need to get back into that, but this is a game I'm going to just keep on playing. Well, I guess until I get bored of it, until I finish it. I'm not sure what the end game is. The end goal in the game actually is trying to get back to the real world before you got run over, because you haven't accepted being killed yet. And you have to find a way back. And that's quite interesting. But the whole game's interesting. It's a lot of fun. Highly recommended by me, Sparky, at the Nintendo Hub. Any comments, leave them below. And I look forward to catching up with you all soon. Happy gaming, stay well, stay safe, be nice, and speak soon.